Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Race 2, ZRL. We are racing sugar cookie. Watched a few guys earlier. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a tough stage. Some people doing some really well in the sprints. Some guys doing some PRs like Darren Vandit. Awesome effort there put in by him. And just generally just trying to catch up on stuff. It's a busy day. It's a busy day. Now that being said, we have gone with the Pinarello 2024 with a disc wheel. Not the fastest sprinter, Venge slightly faster, but aero enough, but it gains an advantage over the Venge on the climb, and that's what we're looking for. So we're going to go with the Pinarello. See how that works out. Just bought the bike, dropped about 1.4 million drops on that bad boy. Make sure the bot's going in the chat. Woo! So like I said, we got about 20 minutes before we get going here. Bot is working. That is awesome. So I appreciate everybody that watched the stream yesterday. We had 4 of us in there, 5 if you include road cyclists. So we had Darren Vandit, Stakes and Chains, we had Peter Twite, and we had road cyclists all in there. If you check out yesterday's video, I've got links to their channels, except for road cyclists, because I got to wait for, I think it is kind of like chat to populate, and then I can maybe scoop it from there, just because road cyclists, when you search it on YouTube, doesn't come up that easy because there's so many videos on it. So there you go. So good race. Darren blew things up on the climb. My legs hurt a little bit from yesterday. It's all good. And we are just slowly rotating these legs at the moment in hopes of warming things up a bit. So hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. Not working too hard. Hopefully if you did race, that your race went relatively well. A lot of people are touting this stage as probably the most difficult stage in ZRL. Last week was a TTT. For those of you who want to go watch that, we did really well. We ended up in first place. And then WTRL did some shuffling of divisions. And now we are in 6th, magically. So that's a good, bad thing, because I'm telling you, my legs were screaming after last week's TTT. Probably one of the hardest efforts I've put in a very long time. And at the end of the day, coming first, I'm like, okay, you know, I might be able to hang for a little bit with the big boys and, you know, maybe be up front for a while of these races and do okay. But as we move down to 6th, it's kind of a little more concerning. There, I was looking at some of the average wattage of opposing teams, and to say the least, it's going to be hard on me today, I think. So the good part for me is the first part's a little bit flat on the flat side and downhill. So hopefully we can just kind of stick in that draft after the first initial energy bursts and kind of stick in there and see what happens, kind of thing. If we're in position to maybe go for a sprint, we'll go for a sprint. But we'll see how that all goes, right? Because the thing is, it's gonna burn some matches for me, and ultimately at the end of the day, when it comes to the climb, I don't know if we're gonna be able to hang. I kind of wish I'd saved yesterday's performance for today. It may have been the time to do it, but pretty dedicated to that Monday time slot. So, anyways, we're just on Tempest Fusion, slow rolling. We will throw up the sauce HUD here in a little bit. Just gonna roll around with the traditional Zwift HUD. I don't have the controllers set up just because ZRL doesn't have them for this particular edition, so I just turned them off because I know some people said they had some monkey business with their stuff when they had them on and it was a non-steering race, so I just kind of like, that's it. Everything I pretty much ride otherwise has been steering, so not a huge deal. We'll just leave it like that. It's all good. PR is like 1.1 seconds off the number one slot. Well, we're not going to come anywhere near to that because that's not what we're here to do today. We're just going to slow roll this sprint on Tempest Fusion. I jump off here and utilize the lacrosse ball just to hit some pressure points prior to the ride. I don't know if you guys have ever used one of these guys. So this is made by XM Fitness. Basically, I will just roll my glutes on there, put it up against the wall, lean into it. It's nice and hard, digs in. It's good. It feels like it just kind of hits that muscle that I have had problems with in the past. Kind of gives it a little bit of a release because it gets tense. And I just kind of like to give it a little bit of motivation prior to riding, just to be that little bit looser. And that's all good. That is all good. Oh. So I was super excited. I was going to go ride with Way Past Fast in the mountains this weekend down in Montana. Life, unfortunately, kind of getting in the way. It's kind of been a year like that. I don't feel like I've got the big rides and the big events, and it just kind of came unraveled this year at the beginning of the year. And I'm not complaining by any sorts of things. Like, I mean, I've got a lot to be thankful for in this world. But yeah, sometimes life just kind of throws you curved balls, and you just got to kind of roll with it. But we're gonna, like I said, just kind of take it easy. Whoa. My legs are definitely in an interesting state, to say the least. Who knows? Who knows? All right. We definitely did not beat that PR. We're almost 3 minutes behind for what's really a 30-second segment. And I don't know about you guys, but been looking at bikes, made a couple posts, getting people to share their bikes. There's some beautiful bikes out there, man. I love the Cervelo that I'm on currently. I know that some people were asking in the last stream what I use for the setup. So I've got the V5 Wahoo. I've had that since it came out. It's got a lot of kilometers on it. Running 11 seats Shimano cassettes. That's why we have the gravel bike on here. And we do shift gears. We're not using the one cog. We do have the Zwift controllers now. Managed to get a set off eBay. Although they appear to be in permanent brake mode. Not that that's a big deal, I just turn braking off. It's not like Zwift requires you to kind of brake into corners or that you know you can overcook corners or anything like that. So it's not a big deal. But been looking at some gravel bikes, you know, just going to the local bike shop, taking a look around, and man, there's some beauties out there, I tell you. But as I mentioned, I love my Cervelo. Great bike. It has been a solid ride. Love it. And, you know, I've probably been a little bit abusive towards it, to be honest. But like anything you ride on dirt, that's kind of how those things roll. All right. Where are we at? 15 minutes. So at about the 10-minute mark here, we'll jump in the pen. Get in there, we'll jump in the chat. And we'll get Zwift going. Turn on the Saucy hub and go with that. Yeah, I figured I'll go with the Sauce hub. The only thing, like I said, that it really lacks is kind of that the icon with your PowerUp. With the companion app, you just have that going. I know some people that stream, they'll cover up their PowerUp. I mean, I'm not really particularly worried about it. I mean, if that's something that you're worried about, I guess Sauce is an advantage that way. I just prefer to have it on the screen directly in front of me. It's just kind of how we roll. If you do drop in and you are in the chat, please do throw us a thumbs up, give us a like. It helps the video. Share it out there. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. There are points available for the redeemables. If I'm doing well, you can cheer me on with things like redeem cowbell, redeem more cowbell, redeem LA. And if I totally tank it, there's always redeem grandmother and redeem tricycle, just to let you know how stellarly I am failing at life. And that's just how it rolls. And then if I don't win, we have a wide variety of little comical things that we play at the end to express the disappointment in my lack of performance. Just how it kind of rolls, guys. Just how it kind of rolls. But yeah, we're just gonna super chill until about the 10-minute mark, and we're just gonna jump in the pen. And then we might jump off the bike for about 2 seconds and just make sure we're good and stretched now that we're a bit warm. And then get ready for the fun that's about to ensue, which is the ZRL. And I've mentioned this before, it's a ton of fun. ZRL is great because it is competitive and there are a lot of strong riders. And pace really kind of gets pushed, and I find that it puts you in that hurt locker and you're better off for it. So don't ride with no hands and lean too far back. We got 12 minutes to go. 12 minutes before we launch. you're watching us over on Twitch as well, give us a follow, please. Appreciate all the follows in the last week. We've been doing rather well over there. Just helps us out. Leave a little note in the chat. Let us know where you're chatting from. It's all greatly appreciated. Okay. 12 minutes. I say 10. Well, we're going to jump off early and stretch. I don't know about you guys, but I do kind of like to physically actually stretch out on top of warming out on the bike. But we'll jump in that pen, join events. There we go. Lots of people already in there. And we'll also do this before we forget, HUD, and we will turn on the sauce hub. Wanna? I like the sauce hub. I do like it. All right. Stretch away. So we're just doing a piriformis stretch. It's the big one for me. Got to do that stretch every time. Go, nice and stretched. Oh. It's funny, I can actually feel my back a little bit because we were doing back today in the gym. So doing these stretches, believe it or not, which is not a stretch for your back at all, I can feel my back. Oh boy. All right. What do we got? 9 minutes. Let's see if the boys are in the chats. Let's get in there. Looks like I am the first in the chat. And open up the companion app, and boom, we are ready to rock and roll. So you got the sprints all laid out on the map, which is good. We got 39.21 kilometers and 260 meters of climbing. Good, good. You? Yeah, we can hear you great, man. Oh. This is going to be interesting. Yeah. I'm not sure. Like, I was all excited last week. I'm like, that TT really hurt. But it's like, okay, you know, this week, you might be able to hang for a while. And then the tomfoolery of moving us up. I'm like, what the hell? It's like, wow. And then dropping to 6th. And then looking at all the power numbers of everybody ahead. It's like, okay. More than we bargained for. Yeah. So that means I will get spat out after the first big up, probably. I like the optimism there. I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm going to get unceremoniously dumped on the first bump. Yeah, I've gone with a disc wheel knowing that I'm going to get dumped at some point. So that's the whole point, is stick with the group as much as I can, and then recognize that when we're going up that I'm going back, so whatever. Yeah, I've been racing that ZRS score, and I would say I'm a mid-pack C, to be fair. But that ZRS score has me high because of sprint, and basically they're all Bs. So I mean, it's like I'm fine when it's flat, right? But the moment that it starts going up and they're starting to do, 5, 6, 6.5 watts a kilo up a climb, it's like, well, this is only going to last for so long before we pop and, unceremoniously pop and get dropped. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if there's any point of going out hard, because it's like, really, it's the sprints, right? Like, I mean, unless you want to put some hurt on some climbing boys, I guess, is maybe. Yeah. Well, the end is like, I want to say like 6%. Starts at 27.9, goes for 2 kilometers, then it's down, and then there's another booter up for another It's not marked as anything per se, but it starts at 9 meters and it goes up to 100. There we go, that's it. So you got 93 meters there over 2 kilometers. Yeah, steepest part of it is 8%. And then there's, you know, the rollers before it, and then there's the little big bump before it, and yeah, you know, little big bump, only like 20 some meters. See, I really wish Zwift would embrace like regular cycling, which is do as little work as possible until you have to. But they like to go fast out the start. I never get it. We should be rolling out here like 150 watts, smoking a cigarette, having a good time. Get warmed up, you know. Yeah, we're gonna go all out here to go downhill. All right, boys. Good luck, everybody. A mere 480 watts of draft. Like I said, it's so fast out the gate to just basically ride downhill. More downhill coming up. About 3 kilometers to the sprint. No dice for me. Whew. Whew. That first third went really fast. Now we got moved up a division. Went from first to sixth after the TTT due to the restructure. There's some strong boys in here. Now one off the front by a couple seconds. 12 seconds. Solo break. We're just going to sit in. It's pretty much my work done. Whew. Ah, that is me, toast. Whew. Ugh. Oh. That group behind keeps getting bigger. They're going to catch me. Just get a good recovery in. Now 16 seconds. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 'You'll be able to see me. They'll be on me. Be a much faster, easier cruise. I think that's Brian there with me. No, it's Eric.
Got a brother from another mother teammate. Just gonna sit in here and be lazy, I guess. Hey, Rob. My job is done. I'm just cruising in. My teammate's pulling away, so rule number one is don't chase your teammates, but I will gladly bring up the rear. Nice little push from Eric. Little counter attack. Let him chase. Let Eric counter. Nice thing is we have Eric and Mike behind me. So even if they catch, they're gonna leapfrog over me. Half a K, we're just gonna ease off. They're pushing. They're pushing. It should be perfectly timed. Here they come. Perfect. Perfect. Ooh. That was tough. I'm gonna have to look at the big stats. So Eric came in 48th. That's good. Good, good. Mike in 52nd. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, we sold our soul for the last sprint, and when we came to the climb, we just kind of reneged our position. We just kind of took our time up there, let Eric and Mike get back in there. In fact, Eric passed me for a bit, and then yeah, it end worked out. And he said, never chase your teammates. So when Eric went off the front there, just let him go. Start stringing guys back up, hook on the back. As it blobs back up, you saw it, you push through. Because they spent all their energy chasing Eric, gave me the opportunity to get that gap, and then you can kind of sit out there, and depending on where it is in the race, in that case it was what, last few kilometers, last 2 to 5K. And I see you said it there as well, Rob, it's just like kind of like at a certain point make yourself seem catchable. They were all doing 7-8 watts a kilogram to catch me, but it was just too far. So beauty. So rest day tomorrow for me. Got the cold chiller tub in, so cold chiller sent me a new chiller and a new ice bath, so I get to set that up, so I'm pretty excited about that. Happy with those numbers, 8:2, 15 seconds. That was probably on the fourth sprint. Sprints didn't go so well for me. First sprint, definitely didn't have it there, so just kind of eased off, let them go, saved that match. Second sprint, third sprint, just kind of kept on the group. Fourth sprint, went for it. I may have been in the last few spots, I don't know. It was a tough sprint, but we sold it all for that, and then we just kind of kept on for as long as we can, and then there we go. That's a ZRL race. Like I said, it was we were in first overall, and then we got after the TTT, we got moved to another division, so we got moved down to like 6th place. So it's kind of interesting. Very strong division. These guys are strong, 100%. Like, they are some good, strong riders in there. You can see some good stuff. know where are we at? Hammond's in 12th, which is good. He was up for a good amount of stuff. Savage from the dogs. Then me. Did we not have more? Who knows? Anyways, so there you have it. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks, Stakes and Chains, for dropping in. Everybody over on Twitch, Rob, Zwifty, Zwifter. Please, if you're watching this on replay, everybody in the chat is typically a Zwifter or does Zwift. Please go visit their channels. Go give them a thumbs up. Go give them a subscribe. Support the racing community and join us for some races, because that's what it's all about. So anyways, until next time, see ya.